That's a pretty sight right there. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the episode. Y'all can see above me, it is hot. It is pretty warm right here today. We have low winds, and I'm staying at a beautiful pond. But it's a pretty big pond, y'all. I consider this a lake, kinda. Today's goal is to get on some early spring pre-spawn bass. Because it is a bigger lake, they still could be kind of sitting in that late winter mode, and that's not a good sign for us. It means those fish will still be out in the middle, kind of grouped up, sitting by structure, and pretty lethargic, not really going to be moving that much. Or they could be in that pre-spawn mood to where they're moving up, super hungry and super aggressive. So we'll adapt to what these fish are going to want to do today, but to find out what they want, we got to get in the water. We got to hit them. So let's jump down there. Let me show you guys the gear I have today and how we're going to catch some bass. Y'all stay tuned. Like I said, y'all, is going to go two ways for us today. They're going to be in that lethargic mode, or they're going to be up shallow wanting to eat. Just because of the conditions I have so far, if y'all can see behind me, I have a nice cove right here. This pocket off through here is very, very shallow. We're probably sitting around 3 to 4 foot, which is a great sign for us. For gear today, I got my 2 bait casters, only brought 2 rods, 2 reels. Now the bite can determine in 2 ways, actually 3 ways. We're gonna throw a small profile just to see if these fish are hungry, just to see if they'll eat a small meal or not. Or throw something a little bit bigger. If they are in that mode and they're eating stuff that small, we can throw a bigger profile. If these bass are that fired up, they'll eat something a little bit bigger. Or number 3, they're gonna be in that winter stage, stew out in the middle, have to throw a little T-rig around, a little Ned rig, just to see if we can pick a couple off. But I think these fish are gonna be really aggressive today. So for the 2 baits I have in this video, this is a KVD swim bait, the bass pattern, and a little baby jig head. Hopefully this bait right here is going to determine if these bass are even hungry. If they're up shallow and if they're eating this, they're going to eat this bait right here. The Z-Man chatterbait with the bluegill pattern with the zoom super fluke on the back of it. The reason why I'm picking kind of bass and bluegill colors, because if these bass are moving up, that's what they're trying to target right now. Smaller bass, smaller bluegill. The fluke on the back of this is enough presentation to where it's going to give them some wobble. The vibration of the chatterbait will get these fish's attention, but it's what they're looking for, y'all. You always want to give the bass what they're hungry for. That's enough talking, guys. We're going to see what these fish are going to want to eat today. I think we're going to catch them, so let's go and get out there. Let's see what these bass are going to want to do today. Because this right here is a moving bait, y'all, you want to keep it once again moving. We're going to start fishing shallow. Hopefully that's where these fish are going to be today. Because these bass, if they are moving up, the water temperatures, like I said, it's not really spring yet, y'all. March 20th is the day for that. Because these water temperatures are still probably a little bit chilly, I'm not going to have this bait moving that fast. I just want to steady retrieve, hit some structure, any grass in there. I might pop it once or twice, but we're keeping this bait slow. You want this bait, oh, y'all, just got destroyed. Oh, that was a good bite. He ripped my swim bait off. As we go throughout our days, guys, I like to give you tips. You want to know where you got your first bite, where you bit at, how you bit it, and how aggressive. From that bite right there, the bass had aggression to bite the bait, but she didn't fully commit to it. It's just a small little love tap. Let's go back out there and see if she'll hit it again. It's a good sign though, guys. That bass bit literally 10 feet in front of me. Let's go a little bit deeper off. I might have pushed her out a little bit. I'll even let this bait sit on the bottom just for a second, guys. Once again, make the bait look like it's wounded. It's an easy meal for those bass. Oh, y'all, did you see that? Perfect example right there, y'all. The bait was sitting still. As soon as I picked it up, that bass hit it. There she is. Very aggressive bass that slammed on the bank. I believe something just flew out of her mouth. Y'all, so what just flew out of that bass's mouth was my swim bait that it just ate. So that was that little bass that just destroyed it. There's number 1, y'all. About a pound, not the biggest bass, but she hit it like she was a 10-pounder. Super aggressive fish, y'all. I give her props for how aggressive she was. Good start, let's put her back. Fire it up. So that was the first fish, guys. Came off the KVD swim bait. Really bit, not even 10 feet in front of me. And the fact that I set the hook, ripped my soft plastic off, she ate it, didn't even spit it out. Next bite we got from the bass was just popping off the bottom, trying to make it as slow as I could. Make the profile of this bait look like it's injured. Destroyed it off the bottom. Third attempt, she got it. That bass hit this bait 3 times. And we're still going after it. I believe that bass would have hit it 7 times until she got it. They're shallow, boys. Let's keep on going. Let's go ahead and put this bait all the way down the bank. Let's go down this bank right here. There's a bite. There she is. Another little skinny bass. Boy, they're hitting it. A little dinker, but we'll take it. Number 2, y'all, another little skinny bass, but they are super aggressive. So now I've been fishing this spot for maybe not even 10 minutes. Pop the bass here, pop the bass there. Probably have another 200 yards around this pond that is access to bank. These fish are shallow, boys. Number 2 right there. Let's put her back in the water. Thank you, buddy. Just from that sign, guys, this is when you can determine when to put down the smaller profile bait and pick up something a little bit bigger. Now we've located the fish. They are shallow. Fish in this pond are in that pre-spawn mode where they're all moving up shallow, trying to gorge on any type of food source they can. This is a good sign. We're gonna go ahead and move down, pop a couple more of this KVD swim bait, just to see if the size of this bait will matter. We can get some bigger bites, and then we'll pick up that chatterbait. Let's go ahead and move down. There's a bite. That's a better fish. Stay down, baby. Bumped off some structure, y'all, and she just destroyed it. Stay down. Get up here. Yes, sir. Biggest one of the day. What we call a reaction strike. Just a little bit bigger than the first one. It's not a bad fish, a little bit fatter. The way she hit it, boy, I thought she was a little bit bigger. This fish hit off a log, bumped the log, let it sink for a second, and she grabbed it before it hit the bottom. Perfect little reaction strike. That's why I put it next to the log, just in case there's one sitting there. And there it was. Let's put her back in the water. Here she goes. Tell you one thing, y'all, these fish are hungry. We're gonna catch one more in this bait right here, then we're gonna pick up the chatterbait, see if we can upgrade some sizes. There's a bite. He's a little guy. Get over here, bud. And she's up. All right, y'all, number 4. Look at them orange eyes. Super pretty. Thank you, buddy. All right, y'all, we're gonna go put this bait up. The good thing is we've located our fish. 4 dinks, not the biggest, but 1 we're catching fish, which is just a great sign. Found out that they're on the banks. They are pretty aggressive and hungry right now. Not the size we want, but now we can eliminate the small swim bait and try to pick up something a little bit bigger. If those small ones are aggressive and they're wanting to eat, maybe we can attract one of the bigger girls to come up and eat that chatterbait. So let's go grab it. We're rolling with the chatterbait now. Bluegill pattern, tons of vibration, super fluke on the back of it. See if we can pop one off. And this bait makes a ton of noise, a ton of vibration. Could spook the bass even if they're in that little late transition out there, but it could also get one fired up to come shallow just to eat this bait, then to return back to the deep. So let's just chuck her around, see what we can make happen. Been going at this chatterbait for about 30 minutes. Still have not gotten the bite I'm looking for. We're gonna fish up to this point using this chatterbait, and if they're not eating this, y'all, I think I know why. So we'll jump to the next tactic. All right, y'all, right now we're working our way back further into this little creek. Creeks are great for bait fish. You should actually be holding more bait fish back here than there is down on the bank I was just fishing. We're gonna sling this thing around for a little bit longer. I wanted to chuck the chatterbait around a little bit just to see what kind of stage these bass are sitting in right now, but you gotta understand, they are still in the transition of being lethargic and not even wanting to eat a bait fish this big. So this bait could be throwing them off. I know they are hungry, and a smaller profile is the key. I just wanted to see if there's any bass that are willing to eat this bait. I'm gonna sling one more. All right, y'all, I'm glad I did this, even though that I lost about 45 minutes of good fishing. Bait right here just told me the conditions of this pond are not matching up right now, and I'm gonna show you guys something here in a second. If you guys wanna know more about what I'm explaining right now, if you're a little bit confused, just wait for the outro. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but we're about to get back to catching. All right, y'all, we jump back to a smaller profile to see how long it takes us to catch a bass. I mean, this is still a 4-inch swim bait. It's not really too small about this bait, just the transitions from their chatterbait putting off vibrations, flash, to something just more subtle and easier for these bass to see and grab. You'll see the difference here in a second. That was a bite. That's just the difference right there, y'all. Didn't catch a fish, but I already fished all this through with the chatterbait. Third cast, got a bite right in front of me. Once again, a very small little tick. So it just goes to show these fish are moving up right now. They are aggressive, they do want to eat. But throwing something like a chatterbait that's putting off a lot of flash, a lot of vibration, and one is just a much bigger bait. And pretty much throw those bass off that they don't even want to eat, even though that's their whole goal right now. Oh, y'all. That was a big bite. I went to go pop it and the bass grabbed it. As soon as I went to go jerk this bait, the rod just stopped right in front of me. I'm amazed right now. Even though I'm teaching you, I still learn every single time I come out here. The conditions I'm learning about today, literally there's bass loaded all through the shallow ends. They moved up to eat, but they're still in that kind of lethargic mode. Like I was explaining in the beginning, some of those smaller bass will move up first because when they're little, they're learning, they're just aggressive, they want to eat. And like I explained to you guys, during the spawning grounds, some of those bigger females will even tuck themselves in better spots every single year because they learn. So right now, 100% positive, there's a ton of big bass kind of still suspended off the banks, even some of those 2-3 pounders. And the ones that are moved up shallow, they're still in that kind of feeding frenzy too. They want to eat, but they're looking for smaller things. Let's just keep on moving down and see what we can do. It's crazy too, guys. As the conditions outside are changing, the fish are kind of changing too right now. As it's getting a little bit later, getting a little bit colder, the bites I'm getting now is just insane. Those people don't think, guys, bass are smart. They're extremely smart. If they're on a pattern, they know what they're doing, nothing gets in their way. Alright guys, I don't know what happened in this clip. I must have bumped the mic and it got disconnected and the audio was just terrible. When I'm walking up to a spot right now, I'm actually calling this fish right here, cast down the bank, don't even reel it a couple feet, got slammed and I actually missed him, went right back at him. And right here you're watching me set the hook on probably one of the biggest fish I caught that day. It was just crazy how the story ended. This was a funny one today, guys. I just want to jump into how this day went. Like I explained in the pre-spawn video, there's going to be a lot of fish moving up. If y'all watch, you know what I'm talking about. So in this video today, I wanted to come out here, and once again, what's occurring right now truly isn't the pre-spawn. These water temperatures are still freezing, and half the fish in this pond are still out in the middle. So that's why when I came out here, I went for confidence, something small, something that I know if these fish were moved up. And I called my shots for the video, guys. I didn't think there was going to be that many big ones on the bank. That's why I still went with the small profile, and if there were some big ones on the bank, I had the chatterbait to back it up behind it. As soon as we walked up here, y'all, I pulled two fish right in front of me. They were up shallow, doing what they wanted to do, eat. Then we got the confidence, you know what, if they're on the banks, let's just pick up the chatterbait. Let's chuck that thing around, let's fish it a little bit deeper, a little bit shallower, and just try to cover all the grounds I could. Now, after seeing how many fish I've caught in such a fast time from the beginning, I knew these fish were on that pattern. But they weren't big, but they were on that pattern. So after throwing that chatterbait and pretty much walking a good chunk of this pond and not getting any bites, I knew there was something wrong. So the fish that I did catch, y'all, they're still in that late winter mode. We're about a week and a half early with the pre-spawn. These bass right now that are up and shallow that are eating are just really aggressive bass that are just trying to prepare for that pre-spawn. If you guys saw in the video how many small bites did I get, I must have got over 10 bites. And they were being so gentle with that bait. If y'all saw when I first walked up to that first spot, my rod went, I mean, that bass just destroyed it. He hit it with all of his might. As it got later into the day, the sun went down, the temperatures kind of dropped a little bit more. As I'm sitting there fishing more and more, I got more of those small bites. And what's happening is, because they're still in that little transition of, you know what, it's hot, I'm going to try to come out and eat. But as soon as those temperatures dropped and the sun went away, the bait fish went away instead of the bass. It kind of backed off a little bit more and they were being so gentle with that bait. So that's why at the end of the video, I figured out what they were doing. So I just went and walked to a side that I haven't fished yet. And I was calling my shots at those fish because I could still see some of them that were up trying to eat that last little pile of bait fish before they went back out into the middle. Just, it amazes me how smart bass can really be. And I'm not ashamed for coming out here. I don't even know how many fish I caught, but I'm not ashamed to come out here and explain to you guys what's going on right now, because that's what's occurring right now. These fish are still so confused about what's going on, but they're trying to eat. They're trying to prepare for the pre-spawn. And if y'all are on top of that and you can go out there and you can have a game plan in your head, I know we've all done it. Sometimes you just go down to the pond like, oh, the spawn's happening right now, and you were a week behind. I'm now 2 weeks ahead. I know what's happening day by day now, especially in this pond. That's one check mark off my list. I know exactly what's happening in this pond, so next time I do come out here, we're gonna have such a stronger game plan of what these fish are doing. So it's just good to be on top of that stuff, y'all. And what's happening here, if you're in my area, it's probably happened for you too. So if y'all watching this video, if you wanna go out there and try to get on just some quick little bass, just those super early pre-spawn bass that really don't know what's going on and they just wanna eat, I highly suggest just throwing on something small. You can throw a beetle spin, a grub, a small Kitech, a small swim bait, even a small T-rig. You can just throw all small baits because you will catch fish. But I would try to time your conditions as best as you can, because if y'all saw in this video today, those bass were up shallow in that early pre-spawn mode, but they wanted the sun, they wanted the bait fish, they wanted to follow everything in patterns. And as it gets to this time right now, you're going to lose that, so the day just pretty much ends. I can still come out here right now and try to catch a couple more, but the point of this video was to explain that to you guys. I wanted to come out here and jump on it super early so I know what's going on, and now you guys do too. That's enough talking, guys. This was a funny video. I love bass fishing so much. I love all fish. They all have a different personality to them, and they all act different like these little guys did today. I'm gonna be updating y'all as much as I can on what's going on day by day with these funny little fish. So y'all stay tuned for that. And if you want to check out any of these videos right here, just click on one. There's a ton of content on my channel, a ton of good learning tips for all the fishing anglers out there. So just go ahead and click on one, leave a comment down below. If you want to support this channel, you know the deal. Hit the like and subscribe button like always. I appreciate it, guys. Lippin Bass TV.